Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole O'Neill, and today I am going to talk about my service learning experience at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. This was a really great experience, and I'd overall recommend service learning to anybody looking to expand their working knowledge of business, but not just always for a profit, and other ways how to actually help the community out. It was very rewarding. So I'm going to dive into the GEA1 reflection paper I wrote on the experience, starting with intro, my expectations, the disciplinary skills and actions that applied to it, my contribution, my vision and mission statements, feedback, some ethical dilemmas and expansion, as well as some leadership requirements, and wrap it all up. So, overall, service learning is work that you perform outside of the classroom as a student, but you are applying skills that you learned inside of the classroom and you're able to grow those in your community and actually make a difference. It can help you with your business in the future and being selfless while doing so. So, leading up to the Humane Society, I did have a good expectation of what it would be like just because I have volunteered there in the past. I knew that everybody there was super kind, that the animals were super kind and sweet, and also that I would probably grow emotionally attached to some of them, which I did with two dogs, Maze and Taz. They were just the cutest little things ever, and I couldn't help myself. And I overall just grew an emotional attachment to the entire Kennel 6 for life, honestly. But anyways, the only thing that I would have worried about from my prior experience was that some of the animals could get a little bit excited or even just be, feeding for attention and jump up and be a little excited. And some people who aren't really trained in animals can be scared by that. But overall, my expectations were good. So once I actually got to the Humane Society, some of the tasks that they had me do included walking the dogs, feeding them, assisting in baths, doing laundry, cleaning their cages, all things that I have done in the past, and it was really no biggie. It was super rewarding, and I will say that I think my biggest impact working there at the Humane Society over the couple of days I did was to just relieve some of the regular volunteers of their daily tasks because I know that it can be super overwhelming. There's such a surplus of animals, and walking them all day can be a very draining job. So I'm sure that they have a lot on their plate, and having people from USF go in there to help them was a huge weight lifted off of their shoulders. Another thing that was great about the experience was being able to connect people with their best friends emotionally and see the looks on their faces when they were taking home their friend and the animals' faces when they knew that they were going to get home or that their friends were going to get to go to a new home. And so I really enjoyed that. I think that the Humane Society's mission and vision statement overall is very true to form. If I can find it in here, I wrote it down and I will go ahead and read it. Their initial mission statement was the Humane Society of Tampa Bay is dedicated to ending animal homelessness and providing care and comfort for companion animals in need, where their vision statement is leading the way because every life counts. So these were great statements, and based on my experience there, I would say those were accurate. There were some other things that I would add though, and after revising the mission statement, I believe that their mission statement could be to rescue, care for, and rehome animals in order to strengthen the community and create a bright future free of animal homelessness and neglect. Where my vision statement would be a safe and compassionate community where every companion animal is safe, loved, and has a permanent home. So, really, just toning in on the sense of community and how much everybody comes together and works to give these animals a home, and how the Humane Society is just such a great organization, truly. So, one thing that I do think the Humane Society could do, jumping into the expansion aspect of the essay, was looking to, save more animals in the future. They could go to countries that are maybe a little bit impoverished or have a problem with animal homelessness and don't really have any organizations that are out there helping these animals. I think if they continued to do that, there would be hundreds of thousands of animals off the street. and probably a lot of families with new animals as well. And additionally, could potentially end grotesque acts where people are maybe abusing animals or eating them or malnourishing them, etc. So that would be a good thing. Or even collaborating with schools and organizations to educate people more on how to help animals and how to take care of animals. Because I know there is a large gap where people don't always take care of their animals correctly, and it's sad to see. So I would love to see that from the Humane Society in the future. Some ethical dilemmas I believe have the potential to arise in an organization this vast would be an understaffing issue. So with just like the 2 days that I was there at the Humane Society, there was consistently onboarding new animals coming in and of course animals going out. But the I was just shocked at how many animals were coming in. While I was there, I saw like an entire litter of kittens in there, numerous puppies and just cats, and I was just beyond myself by how many animals don't have homes. So without adequate volunteers, it would be hard to continue to manage the surplus of animals that are coming in all the time, and that could lead to these dogs and cats, not having care the way that they should, maybe not being walked enough, not being bathed enough. And I'm not saying that this is an issue at all. I think they do a great job, but I just think it's important that they continue to get the volunteers. Another ethical dilemma that I figured could occur would just be a lot of these animals were homeless growing up and had to fend for themselves and had to actually hunt for food, which is not something that we're used to with domesticated house animals. So this could lead to maybe a little bit of violence, jumping, biting, or just feeling cornered for some of those animals. So those are things that they could look out for. In order to be a good ethical leader overall, this is me ending the essay, you must lead with kindness, empathy, and non-judgmental attitudes. This is, I believe, because a lot of people who actually run nonprofit organizations oftentimes have had the hardest paths themselves and had to deal with a lot of trauma, whether they grew up in a household that was abusive or neglectful or whatnot, or financial struggles or something. They empathize with whatever the organization is doing. So, to be a leader in this, you can't judge people for their stories, their past, especially because a lot of people doing volunteer work maybe have some sort of criminal background or doing it for school or other reasons, but everybody has their reasons for being there. So you have to have an open mind and just guide people rather than yelling at them, because you have to remember another thing is these volunteers are not getting paid. So a good ethical leader would be somebody who's going to answer questions and make everybody feel calm and smoothly bring this process around. You're also going to have integrity, honesty, transparency, and accountability. Even though you're not getting paid, you're still running an organization. And the only way for an organization to properly run is to take accountability for all the things they're doing and still hold people up to par as if they are a regular employee and give them the tasks that they must do and follow through with it. I just want to say overall, I'm really grateful for this experience and for this class. I feel like this was a great capstone class and a great way to end my time here at USF. I'm really grateful for it. I think there might have been something that I missed, but yeah, overall, I hope you enjoyed and goodbye.